Buenas noches, señores y señores. Today I am not recording on my PC. Hold on. Hi. Yes, now I'm recording. My name is Ahmed Al-Adi. I am a 21-year-old game developer. I am from Egypt. I am an engineer. I have not prepared this video at all. I have myself a very... God, I'm handsome. Anyways. I have been a game developer for over 6 years. I have worked with engines such as Unity and Godot. I have touched Unreal Engine and it has touched me back, and I never want to go there ever again. I hate Unreal Engine. If you like Unreal Engine, please continue watching. I don't care. Anyways, I have worked with C, C++, C#, JavaScript, GD script, Java, you know, the list goes on, Python. But I currently use C and C#. I prefer C. I have printed Hello World in assembly, so that counts for something. Anyway, today I wanted to give you some mathematics basics. I think it has a little crash course. Of course, excuse my camera skills, they're going to be not the best, and my English can kind of die a little bit here and there. I don't really speak English out loud that much here in Egypt, but I'd say it's still holding up decently. Anyways, as you can see on the screen, I have a company called Flow Studios. Still not officially established. It will be in 2-ish months when I'm actually 21. I have lied. I have lied to you. I'm not 21 yet. I'm 20 and like 10 months. 9.5, I think. My birthday is on the 1st of October, so yeah. I better get gifts. Anyways. I have made several orders. You can see not the best GPA, but it's decent. I'm supposedly going to graduate in the 28th, you know. Who the hell says that? In year 2028. My resume needs work. But other than that, let's actually get to the content of the video. I want to tell you about... I'm looking over there because my whiteboard is over there. I'll take you there in a minute. I want to tell you about some mathematics basics that we will need in a upcoming course. Hint, it has to do with OpenGL. Look at this gorgeous handwriting. It is so pretty. Hold on. Look at that. Yeah. Before the OpenGL course, though, we will have a C course to actually get you up to speed if you haven't really had the best of experience in C. It'll be like 5 videos, 6 videos maybe, telling you how to do stuff in C. And at the end, I will actually help you integrate C with assembly to make a little small itsy bitsy app so you can, you know how to integrate both, because I find it cool. I learned that today. I want to include that. So let's go. And the remote isn't working. How fun. Stop recording me. I must apologize if that was cringy again. Beautiful tea. I do not have the best camera skills quite yet. Let's toss you aside. The hell are you doing here? Marker. Maths. Right. This video does not have a script. I was supposedly going to go to bed. I took my melatonin pills and I failed to go to bed. So now you're getting a sudden video with whatever energy I managed to pop out of a melatonin pill. Not sure how that works. Anyways. Algebra. 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's supposed to be a 1. Okay. Let's step it up a little bit. To multiply a determinant, we to multiply a matrix with a number. Okay, hold on. I need to gather my shit. Okay. Let's be clear. You all know how to actually do, algebra. I am going to tell you a few simple things, like, for example, how you do a modulus, right? You do a modulus by, let's say, 15 mod 5. This is equal to 0. Why is this equal to 0? Well, a beautiful way that I use is subtract this number from this number until you can't anymore. So 15 minus 5 is 10, 10 minus 5 is 5, 5 minus 5 is 0. Can you go any lower? No, so this is your remainder. So let's say, for example, 12 mod, 7. So 12 minus 7 is 5. 5 minus 7, you can't do that, so your remainder is 5. Okay, so this is how modulus works. This is something that threw me in a loop when I was learning how to program. Use that for something like, you want to get, let's say, 3 mod 1. Oh, sorry, 2. 3 mod 2. That would give you 1. So you know that this is an odd number. 4 mod 2 would give you 0. So you know that that is an even number. Many, many, many use cases for that. Very useful tool. Next up, we have determinants. A 2 by 2 determinant, let's say something like this, is solved pretty simply. The reason we're taking determinants is so that we can actually make vector operations in a minute. This is a very short video, and its whole purpose is just to give you a refresher. It's not supposed to be, a basics of math. So if you need basics, you can find so many videos. I'm literally using one right there to refresh my memory, right? This whole purpose of what I'm doing is just to refresh your memory. I am not teaching you this specific part from 0. Everything else is supposed to be from 0 in, the next videos when I'm actually more prepared. Anyways, right, so how you solve a determinant? 2 times 7 subtracted by 3 times 4. This one times this one subtracted by this one times this one. So it would be 2 times 7 subtracted by 4 times 3. Right? We don't actually care what the answer is. It would be 14 minus, 4 times 3, that's 12. So that would be, 2, but we don't care. Anyways, let's see. We want to know how to do 3 by 3 determinants now, right? 3D vectors, very cool, very wow. Anyways, so I, J, K, for example, or let's say A, B, C. Why not, right? A, B, C. And let's say 2, 7, 8, 4, 3, 1. Okay? So how you solve this is, first of all, you put your little cutesy marks up here, right? Positive, negative, positive. And you'll use those in a second. How you solve this is, let's say, we want to start with A, right? So we'll cross out A's column and row. So we have A. This is no longer visible, and this is no longer visible, right? We have 7, 3, 4, and 1. So we'll do 7 times 1 subtracted by 4 times 3. So 7 times 1 subtracted by 4 times 3. Okay? Then we'll go for the next one. Remember, we had a negative sign here, so we'll put that. And then we have B. Cross out its row and column. So you have 2, 1, 3, and 8. So we'll do 2 multiplied by 1 subtracted by 3 multiplied by 8. Right? Let's do C. cross out its row, cross out its column. You have 2, 4, 7, and 8. So you have 2 multiplied by 4 subtracted by 8 multiplied by 7, right? This will give you a number that is the, well, it will not give you a single number. It will be A multiplied by whatever minus B multiplied by whatever plus C multiplied by whatever. You get the idea. Okay, vectors. How do we do vectors? And for this, I will probably slow down a lot more than I was doing in a minute. Well, before a minute ago. I can't really speak. Hold on, I'm gonna take a little break. Okay, so I took a minute to, get my breath back. Vectors. If you can't tell, I kind of lost a lot of my energy. I don't know what is going on. I might have ADHD. I don't actually know for sure, so I'm not gonna say I have ADHD, but I think. Anyways, right, so vectors. Let's say you have point, you have other point, connect point, direction, you have vector, right? Okay, so let's get vector. To get the resultant, you connect the end of the first vector to the, tail of the second vector, right? So let's say this is 3, this is 4, you have a right-angled triangle, so it would be, let's call you x, so x would be the square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, and you get the stuff you want. That is how you, mess with the very basics of a 2D vector. You would represent a vector as, let's say you have a point here and a point there, okay? Let's call this A, and let's call this B, right? And you have a vector A, B, right? It's going in this direction. This is point 0, 0, 0, and this is point, let's say, I don't know, 0, 7, 5, right? Don't actually, focus on the ups and downs. This is a 3D vector, by the way. Okay, so it's literally the exact same. If we just get rid of one of these, it would be, same stuff, right? No difference. To avoid the confusion, though. Oh my god, I am so out of energy right now. Whew! What is that crash? God damn. Allow me to just... Okay, that's a little bit better. So how you calculate this is B minus A equals, so you take the second point and you subtract it from the first point. So that would be, 7 minus 0, 7, and 0 minus 0, 0. So this is your direction vector. It would be represented as 7a vec x plus 0a vec y. And this just, says we have 7 units in the x-axis and no units in the y-axis, and we can just represent it with 7ax, right? Well, let's say we want to represent that in 3D, right? Let's do something cool here. You have, your normal 3D shit. Your beautiful X, Y, and Z axes. And let's say give me a second, please. 1 second. Right, so let's say you have point A over here. You have point, say, B over here. And you have a vector connecting both, right? And let's assume that this is 1, this is 1, and this is 1, right? So the x, the length of this side is 1, the length of this side is 1, and the length of this side is 1, okay? So this would be point 1, 1, 1, and this would be point 0, 0, 0, right? So to get this vector, vector A, B, it would be equal to B minus A, right? Point B minus point A. So this would be, 1A vec X plus 1A vec Y plus 1A vec Z. So let's, for example, take another vector, vector C, right? And we want to, sorry, another point, point C, and we want to take vector BC, like so, okay? So point C would be 0 on the X, 1 on the Y, and 1 on the Z, right? So 0 on the X, 1 on the Y, and 1 on the Z. We move parallel to the axis we are determining. So this would be 0, 1, 1, right? So we want to get this vector. So it would be vector BC, right? Equals, we would subtract C from B, and that would be 0 minus 1, so negative 1, A vec X plus 0, right? So 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, so 0 A vec Y plus 1 minus 1, so 0 A vec Z, right? That makes sense because we only moved backwards 1 in the X direction. Okay, that's kind of all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to show some vector stuff. We obviously have a lot more, actually. For example, to show something from what I was talking about with the determinants and stuff, we have products for vectors, right? So you can't just multiply two vectors normally, how you would multiply, normal numbers. You can multiply a vector by numbers. So if we have, say 2 plus 3ay plus 7az, right? And we want to multiply this vector. If we just say this is vector AB, right? If I multiply AB by, let's say, 3, we would simply multiply each independent value or each independent component. These are component. I can't speak. Hold on. Sorry, my AC is kind of broken. It's so hot in here. Anyways, right. So this would be, 2 times 3, so that would be 6ax plus 9ay plus 21az, right? That's how you would multiply a vector by a number. But if we want to multiply two vectors, we have two options. You can use a dot product. So let's say we have another vector CD equals 7ax plus, say, 2ay plus 1az. Okay, so we want to multiply these. We can get a dot product, and a dot product is a scalar product, right? It doesn't give you direction. It basically multiplies their magnitudes, right? So that would give you a dot product looks like this: AB dot CD, right? And that would be the x component of A multiplied by the x component of B, or AB and CD. So that would be 2 multiplied by 7, and that is 1 value, plus 3 multiplied by 2, plus 7 multiplied by 1. And this would be, 14 and 6 and 7. So whatever that is, I don't really... 27. I'm sorry, I say I don't want to do it, but it pops up. Anyways, so that is 1. Obviously, if I make any mathematical calculation mistakes, please do bully the shit out of me in the comments, because I'm making unnecessary calculations. If I make them wrong, that would be shameful. All right, so this is how you make a dot product. This gives you a scalar value. But let's say we don't want a dot product. We actually want a cross product. A cross product is, I didn't mean to erase the actual vectors. I'm going to lose my shit. AB equals CD equals, okay. So to get a, what's the other word? There's scalar, and there is, the fucking thing, a vector, a vector product, or a vector value. Scalar and vector, something like that, I don't really. Anyways, so you have, you want to get a vector out of these two, out of the product of these two. Let's say this vector AB looks like that, and this vector CD looks like that. The cross product vector of them, let's call it F, right? Let's call it F. That would be, A, B cross CD. Let's say that is F. It would be perpendicular to both of them, like that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It would be perpendicular to both of them. Okay. To solve this, you would have a very nice little matrix, right? So AB cross CD. I need to remember to wash my hands. That is disgusting. Anyways, equals. You would get a nice determinant over here, right? And we have AX, A vec X, A vec Y, and A vec Z at the top, right? And don't forget, positive, negative, positive, right? And then we put our coefficients here, so 2, 3, 7, and then 7, 2, and 1. And we solve it just as we normally would. We cross out this and this, the column and the row, and we get A vec X. We get A vec X multiplied by 3 times 1, which is 3, minus 7 times 2, which is 14, right? Minus A vec Y, cross out its row, its column, cross out its row. You have 2 times 1, which is 2, subtracted by 7 times 7. I have no idea what that is, and I don't care to know, honestly. Just 7 squared there. Plus A vec Z, cross out its row, cross out its column. You have 2 times 2 minus 7 times 3. Right, so you have 2 times 2, 4, minus 7 times 3, 21. Right? You would solve these, and you would get a value in AX, A vec X, plus or minus a value in AY, right? Plus or minus you know, it'll be minus because much bigger number there, minus a vec z, you know, again multiplied by another value, and that would be the vector cross product of your two vectors right there. This is just scratching the surface, and every time I find a new or challenging concept pop up in the OpenGL course, I will be explaining it, and I will be much more prepared than I am right now. I just wanted to get the channel started because honestly, it will probably never start if I keep trying to, you know, be perfect. I am not perfect, I'm just me, just this handsome fella trying to get through making a nice little channel. I hope you understood something, and I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I hope I didn't make the video too long. You don't know how to make vector projection? You don't know how to project a vector on another? You have this vector and this vector. The projection of this vector on this vector would be this vector. Yay. But that's in another video. Right, we'll look into that later. I don't even fully remember the formula, honestly. But yeah, that's how I did it in electromagnetic theory. Honestly, with the grade that I got in that subject, I don't think you would want to listen to what I'm saying. I got a C minus, but that subject was just dog shit. It wasn't even my fault, man. Don't even blame me. You will find below several other resources on how to, you know, learn this stuff if you actually are new to them. And you'll find some contact stuff for me, some Discord link and stuff like that if you wanna, you know, talk to me for whatever reason. And yeah, that's it. Bye.